Today first we will take the word benefit that Baba uses in the Murli. Baba says, sweet children, your business is to benefit everyone. First of all, benefit yourselves and then serve others to benefit them. Now the first question is, what is our idea of benefit? So when Baba says your business is to benefit everyone, so today Baba also says that when you serve everyone, you receive blessings. But I will tell you two incidents actually. So yesterday there was a brother who visited, and then he told me that I'm a very helpful person and I have suffered because of that, I have suffered a lot because of that. And then I said, so what is your idea of help and how have you suffered because of that? So he said, my idea of help is I give everyone what they need. So even in an official capacity, if somebody is really in need, I would even break an official rule and help them. Or I would go out of the way and help somebody get something they want, or, do these things. So I said, okay, and what happens when you do that? So he said that people take me for granted, or I suffer because of the rules I've broken, or I suffer because of the lines I've crossed. And then I said, it's not your bhavna which is wrong, but without gyan, if you have bhavna, so sometimes your intentions are good, but you don't know the right method. So that is called, you have bhavana, you have good feelings, good intentions, but you don't have right knowledge. And then what happens is, if you have bhavana and no gyan, then you are sensitive and you will suffer. But if you have bhavana with gyan, so you obviously, Baba says, you have to be compassionate and you have to have the bhavana to benefit others and serve others. All that is good and very important. But Baba says, the most important thing is having right knowledge. So I was telling that brother that, you have to have gyan of how to actually benefit somebody. So if somebody is being greedy, or somebody is in attachment, or somebody is in expectation of something from you, then you are not obliged to feed their greed or their ego or their expectations or their attachment. When you have bhavna that I want to benefit somebody, you must know that who is that somebody. Yes, it's not the body, it's the soul. And even when people want to cling on to their things and people and position and this and that, and they think that if all my things, my people, my acquisitions, my labels, positions are in place, then I will be okay. That's a misconception. And if you're just helping people keep what they think is theirs and what they think matters in place. So, if you just help somebody who thinks that if my daughter gets married, then maybe I will rest in peace. So that's an idea with which they have grown. That's not the truth. So if you keep feeding people are having several ideas, and because of those ideas, because of those programming, conditioning, they are expecting you to help them in a certain way. But if you do that, then that's not going to actually benefit them, because they are an illusion. They don't know that their physical identity, social identity, the identity that comes from relationships or their job is not what actually matters. And they are always trying to tell you that, if you help me keep all these identities in place, then probably you are helping me. But Baba says no, the one in distress is the soul. The soul is creating an experience of sorrow or happiness. So, first thing first, the soul doesn't know itself. So, that's why the soul is creating happiness and sorrow based on the false programming that it has been given. So, the buddhi, the programming in the buddhi, the sanskar, they are giving the soul a lot of sorrow. So it's your job, if you want to really benefit somebody, pulling souls out of their belief systems and taking them to the truth, making them realize that their very nature is happiness. You are by definition a happy soul. Your happiness is not conditional upon anything or anyone. And the easiest method to do that is or the only method, I think, not even the easiest, but the only method of doing that, bringing a soul to self-realization and realization of its greatness and virtues and powers, is to make the soul know Shiv Baba and make them a godly student. Yes, so only Shiv Baba has the strength and the patience and the perseverance to, persevere until the soul realizes. Because, humans don't have that kind of patience and perseverance. So, in a soul who has 63 births of body conscious programming will not come to soul consciousness in a day or a month or a year. And only Baba can, sustain this teaching and give that sustenance for so long that the soul realizes. So the only way to benefit everybody is to bring them to have faith that Shiv Baba has come and he has spoken the Murli through Brahma Baba's mouth, and this Murli is the word of God, and God is the ocean of happiness, God is the purifier, God is the bestower of peace. So the Murli is the only way to peace, purity, happiness. So bringing souls to that point where they understand where to look. Yes, because the problem is everybody is making an effort for happiness and peace, but they don't know that happiness and peace cannot come with impurity. So impurity, happiness and peace, they don't go together. It is purity which is the mother of peace and happiness. And then we don't have the strength to be pure in this impure world unless we have yoga with Baba, unless we have the power of knowledge and yoga. And only Baba can give that. So, if we want to benefit somebody, the only method is that somebody is a soul, and that soul has to know the Father, the soul has to realize that Baba has come, and the soul has to know that Baba is giving us the teaching and giving us the power and the path, showing us the path to move to a world of peace and happiness. But that's the job that we have to do. So, business, so Baba says, your business is to bring benefit to everyone. But you must have the knowledge of how to bring benefit, because that example I told you, and then there is another example where there was this one conference organized by a wing in Brahma Kumaris, and there was this young girl who came up in the question answer session, and she said, I want to ask a question, that my mother is a very soft-hearted person and she always helps people, but I've always seen her cry and be sad, and she has no joy in life, and she is always suffering. So I have no faith in goodness and help. So this is another incident where this wrong understanding of help and benefit, this has made a soul suffer. So Baba, this is why Baba says, understand how to bring benefit and bring benefit. But the most important thing Baba says is, have you brought benefit to yourself? So I know Baba, I know the knowledge, I know how to do yoga, I know the power of purity, I know the power of seva. Yes, so since I'm a Brahmin, so I know all of these, right? I know the truth, I know the power of yoga, I know the power of purity, and I know the power of seva. But have I brought benefit to myself by using these powers? Yes, that's the question. Because theoretically you may know many things, but when somebody comes to you, you talk from experience. You always share what you do. And then the question is, and also if you theoretically, if you just share whatever you know but you don't do, then the other person will not get the power to do it. So Baba says, have you brought benefit to yourself? Now just ask yourself, do you get everything done through yoga power, or you still use muscle power and position power and financial power, or the power of anger and the power of ego? So, do you get work done by these methods, or do you get work done by yoga power? So we have to ask ourselves. And you see that yesterday in the Murli, in Sunday's Murli, Baba said something very beautiful. Baba said that the power to, the power to adjust or accommodate, the power to accommodate. So Baba says that children know that you can have success by using the power to accommodate. But many times they don't use that power to accommodate. And I was just thinking, what is Baba trying to say when he says that you can have success by having the power to accommodate? Now Baba has given us the power to accommodate, What is the power to accommodate? So even when things on the outside are very messed up, and there are many things which are pulling your attention, which are just pulling you to be engaged in overthinking and stress and worry. Power to accommodate means you are able to manage your mind in such a way that you don't overthink about that stuff, you don't speak about that stuff. And you know that the law is, wherever attention goes, energy flows and things grow. So if you focus your attention on whatever is wrong outside, if you play it on your mind, if you share it through words, then what is happening is you're giving energy to that thing which is already negative. And then its force is multiplying. And Baba says that if you finish it here, if you're able to just put a full stop here and not pay any attention, not amplify it by giving it the power of your attention, the power of your words, if you're able to do that, then that situation outside will be won over by you. Yes, because when you finish it here, then drama will finish it there. But do we use these powers? That's the question. I'm just talking about one power that Baba underlined. And Baba has given us so many virtues, so many powers. And the biggest power is Baba's remembrance. So when we are in remembrance, then Baba will give us the touching to use a certain power or to use a certain virtue. So even receiving that help from Baba will only happen when you are in union with Baba, when you are in yoga with Baba. If you're not in yoga, then even Baba is there, but he can't help you. He can't give you the right touching. I will tell you one incident. So there was, when I was in office, there was this one brother, and he was junior to me in the office. And we went for a meeting, and I had to go for the meeting. I just took him along, and I did not tell him that you are participating in the meeting. I just took him along and I told him that you come with me, that's it. But so in the meeting, there were many things which were discussed which I didn't have any idea about. And then because I didn't have any idea about those things, so I had to, act acts tactfully. And then I was coming back, and then I just told him that, they were talking about this technical stuff, and I didn't know this. So he told me that, Madam, I knew. So I said, if you knew, you were sitting there, why didn't you speak up? So he said, you didn't ask me to speak. You never looked at me. You didn't know also that I could help you. So I said, okay, yes, that's true. And he said, if you had told me that, I need to add there or contribute there, I would have done that. But I thought it would be disrespectful or something, so I didn't do it. So I said, okay. So from that incident, I realized that, even if somebody is there with you, if you don't look at them, they are not going to help you. So Baba says that, yoga power is the biggest power. So when you are in yoga with Baba, then Baba is able to, so Baba is the Sarva Shaktivan. Baba is the ocean of powers and virtues. And there's nothing that Baba can't tell you the method to deal with. But do you look at Baba? That's the question. Are you in communion with Baba? So, in today's Murli also, Baba mentions this thing which we are talking about right now. And Baba says that children go to a wedding, and then there they can serve. There are many methods to serve, and I can touch them. I can give them the touching of how to do that service, but they are not in yoga with me only. They are not remembering me, so how will I touch them? And there's a very beautiful letter from God. So in the early days, I was presented that letter from God by someone, and it's a beautiful letter from God. And in that Khuda ka khat, letter from God, Baba is talking, it's written in Baba's words, and Baba is saying, so right from the morning, when the child woke up, I'm looking at the child, he'll say good morning to me, but then he just took the phone and he started watching something. And then I was just waiting for the child to acknowledge me before he takes his breakfast. But then he ate, he complained about the taste and all, and then he left. And then I thought maybe while going to office on the drive, he'll remember me. But no, he just was focused on what he has to do in the day. And so Baba keeps looking, and the child is busy all day. And in the night also, without saying good night, the child has slept. So Baba has kept waiting all day, and the child is not thinking about Baba even for a second. So this is Baba's letter to the child, that just look at me sometimes. If you just think about me, I will tell you what to do. But you don't pay attention to my presence at all. So let me ask myself, have I benefited myself? So Baba has given us this knowledge of, how yoga with Baba, and how receiving touchings and directions from Baba in that state of introversion. So when you are antarmukhi and in silence and in connection with Baba, and it's not the connection that you make when you are consumed by some fear. So, sometimes you are in the midst of a problem, and then you think that you're remembering Baba. You're not remembering Baba. You're crying out to Baba and you're remembering the problem. That's not when you receive touchings. So, touchings are received when your heart is connected with Baba. And Baba says, for that you have to forget everything that's going around you and just have your heart with me. And when your heart is connected with me, I give you the directions, the touchings. So, do we use that yoga power? Do I use the power of virtues? Do I use the power of seva? Do I use the power of truth? Do I remind myself of my imperishable nature? Have you told yourself ever, why am I scared? By default, I cannot die. So, why am I scared? And by default, nobody can give me praise or defamation. I'm beyond praise and defamation. So, why am I afraid of defamation? Why am I so greedy for praise? So, have you used these power of truth, power of yoga, power of virtues, power of blessings that come from seva? So you see that there is this one sister who does a lot of seva in the center. So she does seva through body, mind, and wealth every time. Every time there is any seva that is required in the center, she is the first one to offer. And then whenever somebody is in trouble, anybody in the Lokik family also, even if they don't know Baba, when they are in trouble, what she first says, the first thing that comes from her mouth is, why don't you do some seva? It will help you earn blessings and this problem will go away. And I have seen that her family members, although they are very antagonistic to Gyan, they are not even on the same page with her, but when she suggests it, they do it. So they do something or the other. They'll Sometimes they'll make a group, come do the cleaning, or they will make some, dhan seva, they will do something, but they will do something because this soul, she has imbibed it in her life. She knows the power of blessings and the power of seva. So because she has imbibed it in her life, when she asks somebody and she tries to benefit somebody with that power, they also take the benefit. And children, and those family members, they also tell me that, Didi, as soon as we do some seva, the problem disappears. So I say that, it's not like the problem disappears because of that. So, but Baba gives you an indication when you are new. Then Baba gives you some indications that you're on the right path. So this is an indication from Baba that just like you listen to one Shrimat of Seva, if you follow all Shrimat, then you will definitely become the master of heaven. So this is something that we need to check whether I bring benefit to myself, and if I do, then I will be able to bring benefit to others. And then Baba today says that children ask, can I go to a wedding? Can I go here? Can I go there? And Baba says, go wherever you want. So where you go is not important. What you do is important. Yes, so Baba says, you might be sitting in the center but doing nothing. And you might be in a wedding but you're doing seva. So what matters is what you're doing, not where you are. Because wherever you are, there is nature, there are souls, and your job is to fill them with Baba's power through your words, through your mind, through your actions. Just give them Baba's power with some method or something. And today Baba says, explain everybody the picture of Trimurti. So, everyone has seen the picture of Trimurti. Who in Bharat has not seen the picture of Trimurti? So, ever since we are born, in our houses, there is Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar sitting, in one frame. But Baba says, that's a false image. Because in that image, you don't know who Brahma is. You know only the image. You don't know the person corresponding to the image. You don't know the person corresponding to the image of Vishnu. So just like, when somebody has seen a picture, have you seen people? They've seen the albums and then they meet those same people 10 years later. And then they say, oh, I saw a picture of you many years back. And then they say, you look very different from the picture. From your picture, I had this idea and that idea. But you're not that person. You're somebody different. And Baba says, everybody has seen a picture of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, but they don't know who Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar are. So Baba says, and they don't know that there is a Shiv Baba also in that picture. So in Bhakti, the picture that is shown, they have just eliminated Shiv Baba from that. So Baba says, you have to show the true Trimurti picture and make them understand that this is Shiv Baba, the father of souls, who enters the body of Brahma Baba, who is a person in Kali Yuga and who is the instrument for creating a new world. And this is the sign of Vishnu, who is the symbol of Lakshmi Narayan together in the new world. So Baba says, just give this explanation to everybody. And then Baba says, show them the picture of Lakshmi Narayan and the tree and the cycle. Every picture you must explain. So wherever you go, what you do is you explain the Trimurti. Who is Shankar? Shankar is collective consciousness through which Vinash takes place. Yes, so Shankar is the power of tapasya that we create through yoga. And through that, the change, the big shift takes place. Okay, so Baba says that you must explain these things. And then today I'll also share one practical experience with you. So, there is a brother and he's in Gyan for, I think, 40 years now. And then his daughter, she said, I will get married. I will not follow Gyan. So then he said, okay, so he said, I will not search for a groom for you. So I will not contribute to that karma. So if you have somebody in mind, or if somebody does it for you, if you're able to convince your uncles or something, okay, you can go ahead. I will not stop you, but I will not contribute to that karma. So then that daughter, whatever happened, but then that marriage was arranged. And you know what the father did? He put up a stall in that marriage. He had one stall, and in that stall he put up all Baba's pictures. And the marriage took place, and he made sure everyone who attended the marriage understood all the pictures. And then and then he was very happy. He said, I have not contributed to anything in the marriage. Whatever happened, happened, and I got an opportunity for seva. I did it. And he's such a sweet brother. I cannot tell you. He's very sweet. It looks like all his ego and all the, everything that he accumulated in the 63 births, it's just wearing off, and he has come back to that purity. And it was so simple and so beautiful what he did. And surprisingly, everybody was smiling also when he was explaining the pictures, because that sweetness, that simplicity was there. And nobody minded. People were expecting it anyway. So every family member knew. So he was happily explaining the pictures in the marriage. So Baba says that, it doesn't matter where you go, what matters is what you do. And if you're clear about who you are, if you know that I am Baba's instrument, if you have so much clarity about that, then what you do is not a question. So you will do as you are. So if you know that my job is to serve, yes. So just like, when BK sisters, they sit anywhere, people are anyway expecting they will share knowledge. So because you have clarity about who you are, you have complete conviction about who you are and what's your job, then even the others won't mind. It's your doubt within yourself which brings objection from the other also, because they also somewhere know that this person can be manipulated. So when you have left that, that door of doubt, then through that door they also push their objections inside. So this is something. And then today Baba says that humility, Baba talks about many things. Baba talks about sensibility, Baba talks about stone intellect today, but Baba also talks about humility today. Baba talked about humility yesterday also. What is humility? So sometimes humility is understood as egolessness. Yes, so, and humility and egolessness are synonyms. So when you're humble, you're egoless. But you have to understand ego first. So do you know what ego does? It stops you from doing the right thing, and it motivates you into doing the wrong thing. Yes, so when we say humility, humility means having the courage to do the right thing, having the courage to defeat ego to do the right thing. That's humility. So, humility doesn't mean becoming a doormat. Yes, so if there is no purpose, then you don't have to become a doormat. So sometimes people are in attachment and in fear and insecurities, and then somebody is treating you badly, and then you are not raising your voice because you are in the receiving end. You're not courageous enough for that, and then they put a shroud of this virtue of humility over it to cover their weakness. So people will say that I'm very soft hearted and I'm very humble, so that's why I'm not I'm not protesting, or I'm not doing anything in this case. But that's not humility. That's your attachment or your fear or some kind of insecurity. So humility is not an offshoot of weakness. Humility comes from being an embodiment of knowledge, purity, peace, everything. So humility is a byproduct of swaman, self-esteem. So when you're full of self-esteem, when you know who you are, then you are not discouraged from doing what you need to do because your ego hurts. Yes, so you are humble enough to do seva, whatever kind of seva is given to you. You are humble enough to follow Baba's Shrimat of being soft and sweet and polite all the time. You are humble enough to speak the truth wherever required. The truth that Baba speaks, not the truth that people call the truth. And not that you're looking ugly is a truth, so I'm speaking it, and that's humility. No, that's not humility. So speaking the truth that Baba has asked us to speak, doing the seva that Baba has asked us to do, whatever kind of seva, doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt my ego to do seva. It doesn't hurt my ego to be virtuous. It doesn't hurt my ego to speak the truth. That is humility. And Baba says, when you have this, strength of self-esteem, and then you are humble because of that, then this humility, because you're serving by being humble, so this will make you earn blessings. And being humble will make you a bestower of happiness, because seva is the only way to give happiness. So the more humble you are, you will be able to give true happiness to everybody, because that comes from bringing souls closer to Baba. And ego stops us from doing that. Yes, so you must have the humility to invite a person for course even when they have denied 10 times. That's humility. With the same love, with the same affection, you must have the humility to again and again approach somebody, and again be soft, be polite, despite everything. But what is the purpose? Are you driven by some fear, some selfish motive, or driven by Shrimat? That's what matters. So when you're driven by fears and insecurities, that's not humility. When you're driven by purpose that Baba has given you, Shrimat that Baba has given you, that is humility. And when you're humble in this way, then Baba says you earn a lot of blessings and love from everybody. Okay? And there is one brother, and he came into Gyan and then he stopped after some time. And it was very way back, it was some 10 years back, I'm telling you. And then Santosh Bhai would keep sending him messages. And at that time, I was not very humble. And then I told Santosh Bhai, why don't you stop sending him messages? He sometimes blocks you, he sometimes unblocks you. What is the big deal? You can just stop sending him messages. It's okay. He doesn't want to listen to Gyan. And then he said, what do I lose by sending messages? If he wants to read, he reads it. If he doesn't want to read, no problem, na. Let him not read. What is the problem? I send him messages. He has the option of blocking. If he doesn't want, he will block me. Don't worry. So then that happened. And that brother came after 6 years to the center. And then he just held Santosh Bhai's hand, and he just he was so thankful. And he said, I have struggled a lot with the truth, because everybody has vices, we don't want to give them up, and then you leave Gyan and this and that. But the consistency with which you sent me support, that support which I always received in the way of powerful blessings and messages from your WhatsApp, I cannot tell you, it has helped me in so many ways in this journey. And now I'm back. I want to do the course again. I want to again join. And he gave so many blessings, and there was so much love. But this is an example of humility. So your ego shouldn't stop you from following Srimad. So when your ego stops you from following Srimad, that's the opposite of humility. And if you stay humble, if you keep following Baba's Srimad, come what may, even when there is too much attack on your ego, then you will see the return of that. Ultimately, you will become a recipient of many blessings, a lot of love from everybody. It takes time, but okay. Om Shanti.